All right. Well, I wanted to make a video about our Mindustry world record attempt for highest wave count. We're probably going to hit about 5,100 in the next hour. To start this video off, I'll just do a flyover of the whole map so you can get a idea of like everything that's going on. But we're still, that's the core. Going up, we got rev factories and power and battery backup and production for silicon and every other resource. The wall is multiple layers thick, but the only real sections that are used are these frontline sections. And then builder drones come in here after each wave and attempt to repair some of the damage. Um, but there's always a few pieces that get destroyed regardless. So every once in a while you got to come back and plop a few wall sections down. But the wall is primarily composed of meltdowns that are all fed with cryo fluid. And there's also some cyclones. It looks like it's some ripples in a line here. We got uh, quite a bit of plastanium to feed the cyclones, and looks like we're using specters here with what is that, thorium. Just about everything is overdriven. Try to give it a little bit more damage output. Um, like these side walls here, sort of. Let's just run this wave so you can take a look. But there's meltdowns on basically every side. They just sort of melt through every unit. And then now we've just had a wave, we can pull these guys back so you can get a closer look. But basically it's two layers of meltdowns with liquid tanks in between. Then lots of force projectors and very similar setup over here, but they're not completely identical. And then the main wall is composed of just those multiple layers. I'll send those guys back so we can keep exploring a little bit. Going down here, we got cryo fluid production. It looks like, yeah, here's our mixers, and there's enough tanks that it can basically stockpile in between waves, but we probably have more than we need as far as like storage and production goes for cryo fluid. This is a um, sort of unified Revenant factory, and the entire thing's fed by SNEC. So the SNEC basically is a quick transport method where items can basically be immediately pushed through. So as soon as you have some revenants that are destroyed, they'll start to respawn with their internal inventory, and before the unit has spawned, it will be reloaded with material. So you got all these factories right here making silicon, and that's being pushed up to these vaults, and the vaults have multiple unloaders, and they're basically just quick withdrawing a belt per unloader. So 36 per vault, and you've got 4 vaults there. You've got 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 20 vaults there. So like 27 silicon vaults, which is like 81 blue belts of silicon, can be outputted all at once. And then here we have titanium, um, just however many of that is stored, plus down here. And this is being fed from all over our production areas down below. Looks like we just got more, silicon, thorium being extracted here, and that's going into these thorium reactors. Lots of power storage. I mean, just hovering over here, we're almost plus 300k with 10 million stored. Here's one of the battery banks. We used to have a battery on a diode where you could toggle it on and off if there was an issue with the impact reactors, for instance. Um, I don't think we're going to have any issues. If you look at these, we got 3k blast stored as well as so it's interesting to have a collaborative project with people from different time zones. but it seems like it's working out. But here we got diodes. Basically, they try to balance the power between the two sides, and because it's pretty expensive to start these reactors back up, and loss of power for a wave or two would be a death sentence. Anyway, we've got uh, lots of impact reactors. We got, looks like 8 there, plus another 14. And that is the majority of our power production, but we also have those thorium reactors, and I think we got rid of the early game power setups with coal and things like that. Once again, more revs on snack. Here's sand harvesting. Same principle here. There's a snack which feeds into these mass drivers, and the mass drivers send it up to a different snack system where it's immediately unloaded and put through these phase weavers. And it looks like this is actually limited by thorium. 4.6. Right. Okay, we're gonna put some more water on these guys. Okay, so now we're at 11 and 11, and that's feeding a little bit better. But yeah, we're not really having an issue. We're basically at max for every resource that could possibly be in the core. Down here, we have a schematic for boosted silicon. It's basically just tiled, and we're using 2 air blast drills fully overdriven with phase fabric to power these guys. But these are capable of putting out a little over a belt each. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 belts of silicon being fed directly into the core. So we're always full on every resource, and we have this snack chain that moves resources to the front line and then back from all the productions into core. And we can toggle these inputs and toggle these outputs to decide what we want to send towards the front line. All these little bays, we have more or less maximum extraction of all the critical resources. This is just a blast factory right here. Once again, snack into, it looks like they're going inside of these phase transporters. And then it's going through this. You can click on this. It's receiving. Yeah, that's feeding into this impact reactors. So lots of little production areas. This is a power design, it looks like. Nope, that's a blast mixer. We used to have a large power core. It was like a sand to power design, but I think we got rid of that when we switched to all impact reactors. But we have enough power remaining right now to basically run, well, 300,000 power, and a force projector uses 180 per second. So we could run like 1,000 more force projectors in this design. So there's definitely some improvements we can make to the front line. I think we're going to have to eventually move this into multiple layers of surge wall. And we're not really having an issue right now with surge, but during major renovations to the front line, there's always an issue of the loss of towers. Towers are really expensive for surge. Like a meltdown is 325, and these walls are, the walls themselves aren't that expensive. It's when we lose meltdowns. But that doesn't happen as long as the revenants are at the front line. And if there's an issue with the core starting to get depleted, we do have a little bit of storage here coming right from the factory. But as you can see here, it's completely full. So there's not much more we can squeeze out of here, and there's not really a need for any specific resource. I guess the biggest thing for us right now would just be getting more rev factories up so we can get this layer to be a little bit thicker. But it looks like this is like one of those boss waves. But enemy count's just going way down. see the builder drones coming in now from down below, and just quickly fixing any holes that may have been created by that last wave. So it's more or less just us AFKing now as the wave counter keeps going up. I'm gonna actually remove that guy, send them all further south so you can get a better look at this. So we do have some issues here. It looks like I'm gonna have to copy over this to here. But for the most part, this is a pretty solid design. I'm not saying it's the best, but uh, it's held this far, and there's definitely some room for improvement here. We could probably remove 10 layers of wall there. These specters are completely unused, so this could be another massive rev factory. I'm not sure the exact unit count right now, but it's probably 2 to 3,000 revs, and the revs alone are almost able to deal with regular waves. The towers help to reduce the losses as well as deal with the eradicators and the leeches and things like that, which do quite a bit of damage. You're talking about hundreds of the top tier units that we're fighting on those boss waves, which occur like every 5 to 10 waves. But for the most part, we're looking at very few losses and almost immediate victories against these attacking waves. So we'll see how far this can go. We could probably make some improvements to make the wall a little bit thicker, sort of replicate these principles going a little further down. And I could easily see us getting to wave 6,000, maybe even 7,000, but I'll keep you posted. If there's anything specific you wanted me to go over about this design or some of these schematics, let me know down below in the comments, and I can try to explain things a little bit better in a follow-up video. But the bottom line is this is sort of over the heads of most of us. Each subsystem here has been developed by different people. I think Lynn, Yosira, and Ari have been some of the main contributors. So if you'd like to play here or on other matches we're doing in the verified section, all you need to do is come on the server and do /register. And that's going to give you a command that looks something like this: Mindustry, pin, and then a random sequence of numbers like that. And you're going to go ahead and just copy that and then do /discord. And this is the link to the Discord. Once you're there, what you're going to do is go ahead and open it up. And let me pull up Discord so you can see. There we go. Go over to the verification section and paste that pin command in, and it will link your Discord account to your in-game account. And we do this just so that we can control griefers a little bit easier. It's a little bit harder to remake a Discord account every time you want to grief than just changing your UID with a app or changing your name or something like that. So it does help us control those who want to be malicious and keep us going for a little bit longer. Other things that I'm planning on implementing in the future, maybe we'll do a checkpoint save system like every couple hundred waves, and that way, if it's a loss by griefer, we can always roll it back to the last save point. But luckily, up to this point, we really haven't had those issues. So anyway, if you want to become a part of like the next level of Mindustry, check this out. Eventually, we'll be launching version 6 servers. I'm not sure if they'll be compatible with the hub, so you'll probably just have to join by direct IP. And we'll be making announcements about stuff like that in the Discord. So go ahead and become a member and wait for announcements. Thanks for watching, guys. If you are new to Mindustry and you don't have this game, it's actually free. There's a link down in the description I'm going to put down there. Go ahead and grab it, and I hope to see you on our servers. Thanks a lot for watching.